Behind me is an Ammontosaurus duck-billed dinosaur. In the next few days, this dinosaur will be removed, taken to a museum, cleaned, and eventually put on display. But how old is this dinosaur? The secular museums, books, articles suggest that anybody who knows anything about dinosaurs knows they became extinct 65 million years ago. Well, but what if they're wrong? By a lot. In legal matters, there's a concept called exculpatory evidence. It's evidence that can clear or exonerate the defendant. Don't you think it's important for people to hear all the evidence? Not just the evidence that supports a one-sided narrative, but that is what's presented to the public. Just the evidence that supports long ages. When it comes to the discussion of dinosaurs, there are several sources of evidence that refute the idea of dinosaurs being millions of years old. In fact, you're about to learn evidence which supports the idea that dinosaurs even lived with humans. This is Dinosaur Battles. When did they die?
When I think about dinosaurs, I think of just really amazing creatures. We've all been to museums, we've seen reconstructions of them, we've seen movies with flesh and skin on the animals, and they're just really amazing creatures. And you know that when I think about them, it's just another one of the variety of things that God made, that God created.
Dinosaurs are a great learning tool for kids of all ages, from age 2 all the way up to 92 and beyond. Most people are fascinated by dinosaurs.
Secular scientists use dinosaurs in an evolutionary scenario. They try to put that over on our kids who love dinosaurs, but the thing is, there's lots of problems.
I see them as something amazing of God's creation. You know, looking at what God has done and what these dinosaurs represent, it's something that draws us in with awe and wonder to try to understand them.
Dinosaurs are obviously catch the public imagination, and therefore evolutionists have used them to promote their agenda.
They come across as an icon for evolutionary ideas.
There's a growing body of evidence that those dinosaurs lived on Earth a fairly short time ago, thousands of years ago, not millions.
Some evolutionists get surprisingly upset when creationists suggest that people and dinosaurs were indeed on the Earth at the same time, and there's scientific and historical evidence for that. The evolutionary story that they're telling collapses.
A few years back, I had the privilege to speak with the scientist who started a revolution in dinosaur research. Mary Schweitzer has become a lightning rod for many of her scientific colleagues. In 2005, she was the first to publish on something that totally rocked the scientific community, and even today. Since 2005, Schweitzer has been defending her work as authentic biomolecules and not contamination. In 2010, she was interviewed by 60 Minutes. BBC Two produced a segment on her, and she had done a TED Talk. What did Mary Schweitzer find that is so tumultuous for the scientific community? And have you ever been to the Dinosaur Museum in Drumheller?
Yes, once. I was little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the discovery of soft tissue found in dinosaur bones? Dinosaur fossil?
No, I haven't. That's really cool.
You were at the museum. Did you see anything at the museum about the discovery of dinosaur soft tissue?
In museums, maybe.
I'm talking about the Royal Tyrrell Museum.
No, I didn't get anything about that before.
Right. Have you ever heard of the discovery of soft tissue found in dinosaur specimens, dinosaur fossils? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Soft tissue found in dinosaur specimens.
I don't think so.
You ever heard?
No, I haven't.
Soft tissue found in dinosaur specimens.
No.
Have you ever heard of the discovery of soft tissue found in dinosaur specimens?
No.
Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Never.
Heard of that? No. Okay. In 2005, Mary Schweitzer published in Science Journal from some specimens that were found in a T-Rex from the Hell Creek Formation in Montana. And so there's a T-Rex femur and the helicopter. They had to break it open. Some pieces came out. They sent it to her. She did the work and then published in Science Journal. Became extremely controversial. And then 5 years later, 2010, it was on 60 Minutes. And it was actually BBC Two in Europe. It was news around the world. So why is it then that nobody seems to know about it today, do you think? Any thoughts?
I mean, it just depends on how much it was publicized, right? How far you can get your audience to access it.
To me, that's the issue. It's not in the museums. It's not in the papers today.
It's not being emphasized
It's not being emphasized, though it was big news in 2010, for a while, but it really, to me, this is one of the most significant discoveries about dinosaurs in recent history. I mean, it's really big. Why? Why is this important, do you suppose? Do you see it to be a problem for the evolutionary theory at all?
May I ask what the significance of the soft tissue and the bone is?
That's what I'm getting to I wanted you to understand that. So imagine you have soft tissue. They shouldn't be lasting more than a couple, maybe 1,000 years, and yet they're in these bones that are supposed to be 65 million years old. This should blow the scientific lid off of the evolutionists, and yet nobody talks about it. We were just in Canada at the Royal Tyrrell Museum. No discussion there about it. You have one view for Earth history, and that's all that's really allowed to be presented.
At the same time, I feel like the reason you believe that dinosaurs existed 6,000 years ago emphasizes this information much more for you in comparison to other people with different beliefs, right? So
you're exactly right, yes. So we're going to bring it.
But for other people, it might not be because it doesn't support their theories.
That's right. So it doesn't fit their narrative, but still, this is a significant discovery. How can you actually say that this is not important?
Definitely. I mean, that shouldn't be hidden, especially by, it's people trying to push their narrative at the end of the day.
That's right.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Really the same thing.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.